This is Matthew Roberts with the band New Rising Sun, giving a shout-out to my dear friend Metal Sanaz, I've known for such a long time, a wonderful, beautiful human being, and everyone in Iran. New Year, you guys party it up, have a good time. We're thinking about you here in the States. Come and check out our band. We want to come and play and check out you. We're going to come out there May, 2013, you think? We'll be out there playing Tehran, so I don't know. Come check out, at least in the meanwhile, newrisingsun.com. You can join us on all the different social network links from there. Thank you. Love you. Bye-bye.
All right, don't do blue. We're on the air.
Don't do blue. Baby, baby.
First, like drunken sailors when we're off the air. But anyways. All right, folks, welcome back.
The buzzer didn't go off.
Phone lines are open at 941-745-1490. Toll free is what?
Toll free is 1-888-761-1490. Do you want to watch us online? I'm sure you do. Go to ustream.tv. Once you reach that website, enter the Mix Show Cam as your keyword. Word.
There you go.
He's all over it.
He's the only one that can get away with saying that.
This will be the Ray show before. Won't be long now.
Hey, listen, folks, that last tune you heard was called Rain, and it was by New Rising Sun, and the lead singer is on hold, not for long, but lead singer is none other than Matt Roberts, old friend of the show. He's called in before, and we're glad to have him back on again. Actually, we called him, so let's just straighten that out, you know. But the phone line was open, so we called him. So there you go. New Rising Sun. And I've got some more MP3s. I'm going to play that after the interview. Matt is also working on a book, which we will discuss right now, and also give us some updates regarding his paternity issue with none other than the Charles Manson. So, Matt, welcome back to the show.
How you doing?
What's going on, man? Anything new?
I'm great.
Hey, listen, I played that sound bite where you were wishing everybody a happy new year and looking forward to doing some gigs in Tehran. What's that all about?
Well, Metal Sanaz, I guess, is Iranian. She was a pretty big, figure on MySpace when it kind of first came out, kind of keeping heavy metal music alive, and was fairly successful doing that. But she, I've been a friend with her before she ever, before anybody knew her, actually, and before she kind of blew up on MySpace, and just, try to support her in whatever she's doing. She called me and wanted me to give a shout-out to her people, I guess, and her friends in Iran, and I know they were going through some struggle at the time with their government, so I'm always, willing to try to support people who are trying to fight oppression, and I felt, like doing it. Why not? So we just kind of did a little YouTube thing and sent it out.
Yeah, very cool. I mean, I was friends with her on MySpace as well. I mean, she sought me out when I started the show, and I kind of lost contact with her. So, I mean, she'd be someone I'd be interested in talking to and getting reacquainted with. So, but
yeah, she's always doing something. I could, I guess, send that message to her and see, put you guys in contact again.
Yeah, it'd be great. I mean, New Rising Sun down in, Tahrir Square or something like that in downtown Tehran, live concert. I think.
Can you imagine?
I think Ahmadinejad would let it happen,
Why not? Why not?
Yeah, so
I'm in the mosh pit.
Yeah, it'd be great. So, I'm looking.
I won't talk any smack about Allah or whatever.
Yeah. But so anyways, Rain, I hadn't played that song before, and it's the first time we played it tonight. That's a kick-ass tune in itself.
Well, thank you. That Quinn, my guitar player in Chicago, had a lot to do with that one. It's a, kind of hard rock and roll classic, really, just kind of, basic rock and roll. It's really good. I like it too.
Yeah, it's a good tune. What's this? The talk about a book? Are you working on a book right now? Writing something?
Well, no. I wrote a book years ago. I actually wrote it like in 1991. I published it in 2000, and has nothing to do with Charlie. In fact, I wrote it before I knew any of that stuff. And I had the same I had 3 online bookstores selling it for over 10 years. And recently, it just blew up. More than I can count internationally, even like in every country. So I'm really proud of that book, particularly because I've never promoted it on any of these interviews and never tried to, use any of this other stuff to advance that book. And now it's kind of taken off on its own, and it just makes me feel real good.
No, I was going to say it never came up with your first appearance on the show. We know in the book it was never even mentioned, so I thought maybe it was something new. What was the book about? What is it about?
Well, it's kind of like a fictionalized autobiography. It's like a philosophy and quantum mechanics and numerology and astrology, and just kind of a unique take on life and different experiences that I've had. And it's interesting because I didn't read my first book from start to finish until I was 25 years old. Well, I wrote my first book when I was 23, so I kind of intuited a lot of this stuff. And, some of this stuff was kind of the positive, I guess, interpretation of the 2013, kind of scenario. And it's just kind of ironic to me that it really blew up like it did just months before, 2013.
Well, all right. Well, where are we getting the book at?
You can get it anywhere now, basically. Just Google The First Rays of the New Rising Sun by Matthew L. Robert, and literally 85 pages will come up of different online booksellers that you can buy it from.
Okay, the usuals, like Amazon and stuff like that?
Yeah, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, just tons of them, hundreds of them, literally in every country. It's amazing.
All right, so it's everywhere then. Okay.
Yep.
And again, just the title again is?
The First Rays of the New Rising Sun, and sun is spelled S-U-N. And the funny thing is people have often accused me of the title of my band, New Rising Sun, S-O-N, being some sort of spin-off of the Charlie scenario. And in actuality, I named the band as, off of the title of the book, The First Rays of the New Rising Sun. The band used to be called New Rising Sun, spelled S-U-N.
Right.
And then I'd let my domain name expire on my .com, and somebody snatched it up real quick. So rather than, changing it to a bunch of weird squiggly marks and forward slashes, I just changed the U to a O in the spelling, and that's how the name of the band came about. It had nothing to do with Charlie also, and it was from the book title. But it's The First Rays of the New Rising Sun, which I basically got from a Jimi Hendrix album that was released posthumously after he had died. And I was, inspired by him quite a bit, and that's where the title of the book came from.
Hey, has there been any updates on the whole paternity thing?
Well, we did the CNN thing. They had contacted me, Anderson Cooper, and we went on and did the show, and then I had told them about this grandson guy, Jason Freeman, that I'd heard about. They didn't know anything about him, so I thought it was a good opportunity to get them to kind of pay for the whole thing, which they did. Which the results came back negative, and there's a lot of controversy once again about, whether that means that I am or I'm not his son, and ultimately what it means is that I'm not related to Jason Freeman. He's never had a paternity test either, so, and there's some speculation, I guess, to whether or not he's his own father's son. So I'm kind of right back where I started. I've gotten some DNA from Charlie a couple of times that was smuggled out of the prison, and had some really unique experiences with that. In one case, the guys at the lab said that there were about 5 of them pining over the results. He said they wanted, arguing amongst each other. Someone wanted to say a positive, someone wanted to say negative. They couldn't come to an agreement. And then one of them, they said it was contaminated with another person's DNA, and I sent in the DNA of the only other person that had come in contact with it, and it didn't work out. And now there's, stuff on the internet about Charlie being a chimera, which is a rare form of DNA, that there's 2 DNA codes or something, which almost kind of makes sense, because that would explain my, his DNA was contaminated by his own DNA, I guess, perhaps. But it's just gotten to the point now where, it would figure that after all this Charlie would have some rare DNA that's impossible to match or something. You know, I was thinking the guy's probably an alien anyway. So I've just kind of given up now. I mean, it's like, what more can I do?
Well, you know, he is originally from Kentucky, so there's probably, you know, some serious piss in that gene pool. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm not you personally, Matt. Not you personally.
You know what else? You know what also? I don't think these geneticists really have a grip on this thing as much as they would like you to think they do, because even like the Genome Project, they were trying to map the entire genetic, you know, matrix of the human being, and they can't because we're evolving so quickly, so they don't know what the hell humans are, what's human and what the hell's going on, honestly, I think.
Damn scientist.
Well, you know, let me tell you, I mean, my side here, because when I had you on some time back, I was mentioning to you that I thought that I had some sort of a connection or I could get involved because I knew a guy based out of Massachusetts who would publish these books, and they were basically, it was called Pandemonium. Jack Stevenson was the publisher. He was the guy and what he did is he collected, or he corresponded with people on the fringe of society, whether it's William S. Burroughs or John Waters, the film director, or Charles Manson, you know, and so he would print the letters that he got from these people in the book. So basically you could see the correspondence from those people back to him. And Manson was sending him these scorpions made out of human hair. And you and I had discussed that the hair, because they weren't allowed to have glue, they probably used urine, you know, to seal these things and you know, make them you know, sound, so to speak. And so I thought, okay, and when we discussed it, we were thinking, all right, well, you know, so I found Jack, and I got with him, and I said, hey, you know, listen, Pandemonium, this and that, do you still have the scorpions? And it's just weird. Everybody's like very ambivalent or just cautious when
Scared?
Well, there's nothing. What's there to be scared of? I mean,
Charles Manson.
Yeah.
he's in prison. What anyway? So, and I was like, well, Jack, listen, these things may have some urine on them. They, you know, and if you still got them, you know, Matt's been on my show, and you know, can we help the guy out? You know, it would be great if you could send one to him, or just cut some of the hair off and send him some of the follicles. I mean, you know, let's see what we can do. We can jump in and solve this mystery once and for all. And it's everybody just hems and they haw. It's like, it's just like, what the hell's the matter with you people? Then I got a hold of, I was corresponding, I don't know if you've been in contact with him, with ATWA, ATWA, which is Air, Trees, Water, and Animals, which is basically another name for the Manson family in 2013. Right. And so I had been in contact with them because they see Charlie practically every day. They're constantly posting photos on Facebook of them with Charlie, you know, and they go see him every chance they can. So it's, and then of course they espouse his philosophy on air, water, trees, and animals, and this and that, and, you know, so I was thinking, well, even they're just like really leery about helping me. I'm thinking, you shake the guy's hand, you put your arm around him, you pose for pictures, you swear allegiance to him. You're trying to tell me you can't get a little bit of saliva and help us out with this mystery? You know, the guy just simply wants to know. And I just keep getting all of these cold shoulders, I guess is the best way to describe it, you know. And I was like, what the hell is wrong with people? I mean, I just don't get it, you know. I don't get it, Matt. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, welcome to my world.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, well, why is everybody giving this guy the cold shoulder?
I do have a question here, Matt. Is there any chance that after Charles Manson passes away in prison, and he will pass away in prison, I guess, that the state of California would be willing to help you in any way here?
Well, no. I mean, you know, I think that may have a lot to do with this on another level, because he has never made any will, and I guess is not planning on it. And you know, there's some speculation as to whether or not the Beach Boys owe him like upwards of $100 million. You know, he wrote some of the songs on their albums and never paid them. And
Right.
you know, I think apparently he's quite wealthy also in some way. I don't really know how, but you know, I think money has a lot to do with this in some way, because ultimately I guess I would be the inheritor of that estate, and I think somebody's planning on making quite a bit of money, and they're not planning on giving it to me, that's for sure.
That's something else to look into.
That's another angle.
Yeah, because he's selling records, and you know, those beach. Go ahead.
Well, you know, and the Beach Boys have publicly admitted that he wrote at least one song on their album, and then I've talked to some people that know him that said he's written not only that one song, but actually some of their biggest hits. And you know, that's what kind of makes me laugh when people call him a failed musician. I mean, he wrote music for one of the biggest bands of American history. That is not a failed musician. He was destined to be rich and famous, no matter what. And you know, that's a lot of money we're talking about here, and honestly, you know, there would be some, I guess, you know, I don't know how that works exactly, but you know, I mean, let's put it to you this way. Everyone who's ever had any kind of a financial interest in Charlie, a business adventure of any sort, has met financial ruin. And the only person who's ever kind of profited off of this was Bugliosi.
Yeah.
And I certainly haven't profited off it, nor do I intend to. But you know, I don't also intend on having financial ruin over the thing either. So I don't know. Money always ruins everything, and you know, kind of gets its dirty little fingerprints all over everything also. So I'm sure there's something to do with, you know, that estate or what's going to happen to that legacy when he dies.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, I see your point. Someone's got to be managing funds, you know? I mean, he
probably Atwa, right?
Who knows? Yeah, it could be Atwa. I don't know. Somebody behind the scenes is managing his finances. You know, if he's got money coming in, somebody's getting those checks and cashing it for him, because, you know, there's no ATM in Corcoran. So, but it's weird. You know, but then again, how cool would it be if he did die and you did have a stake in that estate, and you know, the money that was made by this so-called serial killer went to a guy who was actually pretty cool, who wasn't a serial killer.
Yeah.
It's justifiable, you know?
Right.
Hang on, man.
But I mean, if there's any, you know, if there's the negativity associated with that would just, I don't know if it would outweigh any kind of benefit that would come from that. I want to make my own money, and I am.
Yeah.
And I don't need, you know, anyone else's, especially his. So that's kind of how I feel about that. And I wouldn't feel particularly good about, you know, profiting off of murder and mayhem myself.
It's bad money going to a good guy. You know, that's all it is. And you use you know, you use it for good. You know, you advance your life.
I'd give it to a charity or something like that.
Exactly. You know, you could help people out instead of destroying them like he did. So. We do have a caller on the phone. The caller, go ahead. You're on the air with Matt.
Yeah, I have a quick couple questions.
Okay.
Does the money or any money that Charlie should have, doesn't he qualify it for that law that it should go to the victims, or the family of the victims, or is he grandfathered out of that?
I've heard that he was grandfathered out of that. I don't know for sure. I know I've heard that the prison system is always getting upset with him because he's always figuring out a way to make money. So if he's always figuring out a way to make money, then he must be getting some of it somehow. But I don't know a lot about all that. I haven't really looked into that. But I think that law definitely came after him, or after his events.
Okay, my other question is, have you ever heard from any of the members, like Squeaky Frome, ever call you and tell you that she could help or anything?
Yeah, I've had some of them, not her specifically, but I've had some of them, some of the lesser-known ones, but some of the lesser-known ones that were also in contact with some of the more-known ones, and they have helped quite a bit, actually. Some of them, a couple of them sent me some photos that I'd never seen before that were pretty compelling, and also one of them sent me a copy of his driver's license, because a lot of the reports have said that he was born on the 12th, I think, of November, but it was actually 11th of November. I don't know what that matters, but it was an official copy of a driver's license that gave his exact birth date, which was different from what was reported in the media. So, but a lot of the pictures they sent me a picture of his mother, which I'd never seen before, and they did a comparison photo with me and his mother in Touch magazine that was really compelling, and then some of the baby photos even. So all of those picture comparisons, that was actually from one of the girls, Diane Young, that was loosely associated through one of the biker gang members that was hanging out with.
Very interesting. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, caller.
Thank you.
So, all right. Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm still trying to actively pursue this on my end, if you don't mind. I'm not trying to be a pain in the ass or anything. I mean, if any given point in time you would just want the whole thing to drop, let me know. But I always think that, I might have some inroad and some way of assisting on the back end here. And I'm just, I'm curious to just getting this whole, like you said, just getting it resolved and just, like you said the first time, just getting on with your life. Just, it's simple, yes or no, and let me get on with my life.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm happy to have anyone help out, and especially you. You've helped out quite a bit already, and been very, honest and representing this thing accurately and that sort of thing, which I really, really appreciate. And I don't think we could put it, drop this thing if we tried. It's become like a huge phenomenon. 200 million people Googled that story, a couple years back. It was the largest, the biggest Googled story, and at the time, to put that into perspective, 400 million people watched the moon landing, so that's a lot of people that are interested in this thing,
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would love to find out the truth also. It doesn't seem like, I don't know, it's just bizarre. I mean, it's been so bizarre up until this point, and then this whole Chimera DNA thing, I mean, come on, man. There's supposedly only 40-something chimeras ever discovered, and he happens to possibly. I mean, this is something they were writing about him before I ever did any DNA searching. So it's like, I didn't make it up. It's just one more thing one more rabbit hole to jump down. So I don't know that I'm ever going to find. Who knows?
No, we like I said, we got some people in your corner, and we just keep plugging away at it until we think we get an answer. That's all.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely, got open ears and willing to try anything. I mean, but I have moved on with my life quite a bit. I'm not hung up on it anymore. I've got a loft actually that I'm building downtown LA. I'm going to do a club once a month there and have my band perform there and that sort of thing. So, I'm just doing what I would have been doing, had none of this come my way, and try not to let any of it interfere or influence it in any way, and just do my thing, which is music. I love music, and I love playing music, and Well,
that brings me to another point in all the media exposure. Have any of these media outlets been, I don't know, kind to you, or did you just suspect when you were dealing with them, like, I'm just a ratings number for these people. That's all they see me as.
No, a lot of them were pretty kind. I mean, the CNN guys were real nice. I mean, I turned down more stuff than I ever did. Like the Oprah show and the good. I mean, some of these shows were really kind of sneaky. Good Morning America wanted me on with Deborah Tate or whatever, and then Oprah wanted me on with John Wayne Gacy's sister or whatever, and it's like, I don't have
why? Why?
A lot of them were kind of sneaky, but the ones that I did deal with were pretty nice, But once you're off, once they're done doing their thing, they cut you to the curb like nobody's tomorrow. So there's kind of an element of they want what they want when they want it, and some of them were downright crazy. I don't know how they got jobs. Actually, some of them were just completely nuts. Some of those producers of those shows.
Chew you up and spit you out, It's like they give you your 15 minutes of fame, as Warhol said, and then okay, we're done, cut, goodbye, and we're moving on. It's I can't. It just drives me nuts, man. It just drives me. I rail against it every week when we sit here and talk about stuff. It's just there's no news anymore. Nobody reports facts. It's all sensationalism.
Well, and that's the thing. They all have, a lot of these shows had an agenda as to how they wanted to pursue the show or angle the show. It wasn't about finding out the facts or what, it was about how they could kind of spin this thing and make it where it's entertaining or something. I guess I don't know.
I think just finding out is entertaining. Like the whole story to me is fascinating. I don't even think you would need to put a spin on it.
There's no spin. It's just
it's a spin
it's
itself.
A spin
really.
yeah, exactly.
This guy is raised in a family in the Midwest, and he finds out he's adopted, and he's like any adopted kid. You're curious. You're like, I wonder who my parents were. So you go investigating, and you're like, are you kidding me? Is it possible that I'm related to this guy? And I just need to find out. And like you said, when you find out, you're like, okay, now I know. And it's either.
It's funny. What's funny is that's exactly how I presented this thing every single time. But not one of them, every single one of them, the headline was man or DJ or whatever claims to be Charles Manson's son. And I've never, ever said that. That's what's so funny. Like you said, it's very simple. This is the story. It's not anything beyond that, just curiosity. But they will never, promote it as such. They will never state the obvious. They always come up with this, I claim this and that and the other, which I don't. It is kind of bizarre, but I can kind of understand it a little bit because you can't really have a headline like DJ may or may not be Charles Manson's son, but that's the truth of the matter, and that's, I'm not going to pretend it's something else, that's for sure.
You know what? Now, here's the weird thing. I even had this pang of guilt when I was creating the invite on Facebook, because we had already talked about the Manson thing. I mean, we had you on the first time, and we discussed it at length, and and I wanted to help, and you told us a story, and you said, you clear as bell, you were just like, hey, I just want to know whether it's yes or no. It's not going to affect me one way or the other, because if he is, he is. It's just a question of just closing the book on it, and and if he's not, he's not. And either way, I'm still going to get up tomorrow. I'm still going to DJ. I'm still going to be in a band. I'm still going to move forward. I just want to know. And that's what you've been saying since day one. We heard you loud and clear on this show. But when I went to create the invite for the second time to have you on tonight, I was like, Matt Roberts, I was like, darn. Do I or don't I make a reference to the Manson paternity? Because I felt like I was guilty of all the things that I hate about the media. I didn't want everybody in my audience to just think of you as just that. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I was doing the sensationalism bit as well the second time around.
I mean, the way I deal with that is this. I just go back to, whatever the truth is. If the truth is the truth, if it's the most horrible thing in the world, so be it. That's the truth. And as long as you're sticking to the truth, then, whatever. If anyone has a problem with it, it's their problem. And beyond that, really, that's it. It's, I'm so sick of everything's bullshit around, excuse my French, but, no matter where you look. I mean, look at that debate between Obama and Romney. They sat there for an hour and talked about nothing. I'm a reasonably intelligent person.
Right.
And they didn't say a thing. They did not say one thing. They argued about something for an hour that had nothing to do with anything. So, everything's crap, just full of crap. So, that if we can just get some truth up in this mug once in a while, then
hey,
maybe
all we gotta do is find somebody to tell it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's harder than it sounds.
Yeah, so again, I just felt weird letting people know that you're on the show, and part of the invite or part of the ad was also he's the guy that might possibly be the illegitimate son of Charles Manson. I was like, man, we already took that angle, and I just don't feel comfortable taking it again and again and again, because I feel like I'm exploiting it now.
Right. Well, the part of the thing, the reason that I wanted to come back on the show was because, you guys were honest and truthful, but also there's been a lot of people, that CNN thing just kind of caused more questions, because a lot of people are convinced that it's done rap now, and it's, that's the answer. And a lot of other people are saying, no, wait, look at the way the nose is and how much he looks like him. How can it not be? And it's, if anything, it caused more chaos and confusion. But the bottom line is I wanted to explain to people where we were at with the whole thing, and how, everyone is just so quick to say, well, why don't you just get a DNA test, a little scrape of hair or something, and it doesn't look like that. It just doesn't. And is very complicated and very confusing. And I mean, I've done a lot. It's not just one test here. I've done like 3 or 4 now, and none of it pans out for me. It's like I've tried and tried, and it's hard to get through all the, I guess, red tape, but also try to understand, I guess, where we're at with our understanding of science these days.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we've got members of our audience who, after your last appearance, they saw your photo and they're like, well, geez, he does look just like him. So they've already accepted the fact that, without the DNA, that you're, the son. So, and they just
most people have, to be honest with you. It's only a small percentage of the people, the naysayers out there, but they're kind of the loudest voice, like it, always. That people tend to blog in the negative and, not the positive. But the majority of the people have been very supportive, actually.
Yeah, I mean, people, the feedback we got, and we're getting it tonight on Facebook as well, is, I mean, they believe in their heart of hearts that you are, and they're like, more power to the guy. They just wish you a healthy and prosperous life. They're not casting any dispersions. They're like, okay, it is what it is, and he's a cool guy, and he needs to get on with his life. So we're getting all this positive feedback from our listeners already,
And people, they just have to ask themselves, if they did an adoption search and their mother was telling them the possibility of their father being somebody like this, they can't sit there with a straight face and tell me they wouldn't be dying to find out if it was true or not.
Yeah.
And I can make up a lot of things, but I cannot make up how I look and how we resemble each other in appearance. That's just not something I can make up. So, if to me, I'll go back to this, what I've said before. It's one thing if he's my father, that's pretty crazy. But if he's not, then that's something entirely different. Then that's really crazy. Then what's really going on in this world? So, I've accepted it. Most people have accepted it too. And if we can get the absolute definitive proof, if such a thing exists out there, so be it. If not, so be it too.
All right. So you're cool with me still working on the back end here and seeing what I can do with my contacts?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, cool. Okay, cool. I just didn't want to, just overstep something and, find out what's going on. I don't know. I just didn't want to intrude. And then the other question I was going to ask is, did it get to a point where it just got overwhelming, where you're just like, I can't take this anymore? Were you under a lot of pressure over the past year?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it at every point I was wondering, and I was questioning why I let it go as far as I did, and I still wrestle with that one, it gets to a point where you just feel like, man, you can't get a break every step of the way. It's just incredible how this thing has evolved, and yeah, I'm to the point where I'm over it, because I can't keep investing all of my energy into this thing and have it be so disappointing and such a letdown every single step of the way. It's like, man, I'd rather invest in things that I know I'm good at and have some successes here and there, instead of just constant defeat every second of the way.
Hey, are you still DJing?
Yeah, still DJing, having a good time doing that. And like I said, I've really tried to separate my music and career from this story, so I can, the last thing I want to do is have people listening to my music because they think I'm Charles Manson's son. So that's not people listening because they like it or So, and I think I've done an okay job with that. And we're starting to, muster this thing back up. Like I said, we're going to be playing downtown during these art walks that they do every second Thursday of the month, and I'm looking forward to that very much.
Hey, we've got art walks here in Florida. You guys going to do? Well, you're building a loft, so all right, you've got a base of operations. I say you guys aren't going to be touring anytime soon, except Tahrir Square.
We're trying to get to Europe. Actually, we've got some interest over there. But we're definitely. I'm going to definitely kind of do the summer here and then try to expand this thing further. I mean, that's the hope.
We've got a loyal listener who is chiming in on Facebook. She's in Liverpool right now. She's like saying you guys really need to come to Liverpool and play. She would love to see you guys live.
Oh, That would be a dream come true.
So it's 2:00 in the morning there. She stays up late to listen to you. So.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
that's
so
great.
that's
I mean, we've got a lot. It's this thing with it, what kind of international. I have a lot of support internationally. It's actually kind of nice.
Well, the whole DJ thing. What club are you DJing at?
Oh, I'm at in North Hollywood, a club called Blue Zebra. It's owned by the Spearmint Rhino Company. I've been with that company since 1999, and CNN came out and filmed me DJing here and did that whole piece. They did a good job too. So I'm here 5 nights a week.
Are you banging a lot of strippers?
I've banged a few in my day. I've kind of laid off it a little bit in recent years. But
right on.
Can you send some of the overflow this way?
Yeah, we'll take your cast off.
I got no bones about taking sloppy seconds.
That's what I'm saying. My life has been rather enjoyable without all of this. That's for sure. I've done all right.
Yeah, I live vicariously through you, to be honest. I got. Let me tell you my stripper story. Okay, I'm 15 years old.
You're keeping your clothes on in this story.
And I'm 15 years old, and I see a want ad in the newspaper that the local strip club in St. Pete, Florida, needs a DJ. And I was like, wow, there's a dream job for a guy, right? 15 years old, hanging out with nude chicks all night long. And so I went. They said, bring your records and for your interview. And so I brought an armful of records, and I was very disappointed to find out that strippers do not want to take their clothes off to Kraftwerk and the Ramones. So I didn't get the gig, needless to say. So
the ones I do definitely don't make a lot of money doing it, that's for sure.
But I just thought it would be utopia to see chicks taking off their clothes to Kraftwerk or, the Sex Pistols or the Ramones. I mean, it's just,
I have to tell you, when there was a time where I had to beg people to listen to my music, and then at a certain point it changed, and these girls were fighting over getting to dance to my songs, and that was when I thought I really arrived.
Hell yeah, there you go. So, like I said, when I hear you DJing, I'm like, this boy's after my own heart. I just live vicariously through him. So, what would happen if you did throw on a Kraftwerk song?
People would probably scratch their head and look around because it'd probably be a 25-minute intro before the drums kicked in.
That's true. All right, I'm just saying, just for kicks, if you just threw one on there, and I don't want you to get fired or anything. I'm just saying, I just thought it'd be kind of cool,
Yeah, they would wonder if they were at a funeral or something.
Oh man! Damn!
The death of your career.
Damn! Funeral? What the hell?
Yikes!
All right, well, that's why I didn't get the job then, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you got to keep it. You got to keep that beat pumping. You got to sound like. It actually did wonders for my my depression because you got to act like you're the happiest guy in the world, no matter what. And now I'm so good acting like it. I just am, and. You keep the energy high and the beat bumping and the booty's shaking, and you're good. You're good to go.
Hey, give us a soundbite real quick. Go ahead and announce one of the girls.
All right, gentlemen, clap those hands out there. Take that left hand, smack that right. Jenna, gonna be making her way on down. Available for some lap dancing. You and Jenna, your favorite girl, rocking your world. We won't say nothing, gentlemen. $20 topless, $30. Nope.
Right on. There you go. That's it.
I'm reaching in my wallet.
Where's Jenna?
Get over here, Ray.
Close enough.
Right now is when you
Ooh, that's my lead.
right now is when you cue the funeral music. Autobahn. There you go. So that's just I did it. All right, so listen. Hey, all right. What part of California are you in? You're in L.A. and where else?
Well, I'm living downtown in this loft that I literally built the walls and everything down there. It's been a lot of fun. But I'm working in North Hollywood, which is just up north of 101, the 170. So I'm in L.A. proper. I've been in Hollywood for a number of years, in Hollywood Hills and. The Valley, and now I'm downtown. A few years ago, if somebody would have told me I would be living downtown, I would have took offense to that. But it's changed dramatically. It really has.
Wow.
A lot of fun down there. It's really kind of like And you know how America is supposed to be. There's a lot of new mom and pop shops and grocery stores down there. People's businesses coming up, and they wouldn't allow Walmart to come in down there. So it's really kind of like the you know the growth and I guess gentrification that's taking place down there is really kind of epitomizes how America once was supposed to be.
Very cool. Hey, listen, off the air, I want to pitch you an idea of being a cameo, having a very small role in a film.
All right. I actually did that a couple of times, but it sounds fun.
Well, I got to pitch you the idea first.
Uh-oh.
It's very
okay.
No. It's real simple. It's
Be nervous, man.
No.
If he can't tell you on the air, it can't be good.
I haven't. It's being discussed. It hasn't been finalized yet. But basically, you would be playing the boyfriend of the main character, and you would be showing up at the mother's house, asking where she is and things like that. It's real simple. It's a real simple part. So. No nudity that I know of. So
crap.
Yeah, but it's just an idea. Well, I'll tell you off the air. I'll shoot you an email and let you know what's going on. So hey, are you working tonight?
I am. In fact, I was called in today because we had last couple of days off, so I worked the day shift. I'm standing out in front of the place right now talking on my cell phone. I probably should get back in there to work.
Oh, well, listen, all right.
You don't want to get you fired.
It's the world's longest 15-minute break.
Now, you see, if you would put that Kraftwerk song on, it's 35 minutes long. See what I'm saying? There you go.
I have. I did that before the call. That's why there's nobody in there. That's why I can stand out here right now.
Everybody left. Cleared the place out.
So, yeah.
Right.
All right, listen, we will let you go. We do appreciate the time again. Don't be a stranger to the show. Like I said, you got carte blanche. The more MP3s I get from the band, the more I play. I'll keep doing what I can on my end with my contacts. I'll give you some updates, if I find anything, if I strike gold. And I'll give you a synopsis of the movie, and you let me know if you want to do a cameo.
Sounds great. I appreciate your help.
All right. Anything else? Anything else coming up? Just besides you're just doing the loft, and you're going to be playing live, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much it, I think.
Cool deal. All right. Well, New Rising Sun. Find them on Facebook. And where else can they get the tunes from?
Well, you can get it on iTunes or Apple. There's that Music Game Studio for the Rock Band thing. We got a couple of songs in the Rock Band game, and we got an album we released in Europe, actually, in the Italian label. So it's everywhere. Just Google it. You can find it anywhere.
Very good. New Rising Sun and Matt Roberts, we do appreciate you being on the show again, and we look forward to hearing from you soon.
Thanks much. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks a lot, man. We appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Have a good night.
Thanks, Matt.
Bye.
Yep. Bye-bye.